Hi everyone, and welcome to this white belt instructional video. Okay, so right to start off, we're going to think about taking our fist. Okay, we're going to take our fist. You can see both my palms. I'm going to look to curl my fingers, put my thumb on top. Nice tight fist every single time, okay? So we'll do that one more quick time as a quick practice. I'm going to look to curl my fingers, thumbs in, good fist. Okay, so that's your starting point. That's what our starting point is going to look to be, is having our nice, good fist. Okay, when we look to throw any of our techniques, one hand is always going to be right by my side every single time. Let's get right into it. Let's start with our punch. Okay, so when we look to throw our punch, one hand is again going to be by my side. The other hand is going to look to be straight out in front. If I look to throw my punch, I'm going to look to take my arms and they're going to switch. One arm out, comes back, the other one comes out. Now, how do we look to throw our good punch? When we look to throw our good punch, my hand is back and my palm is facing up. Okay, my palm is going all the way up. My fingers curled. I'm going to think about keeping my palm facing up almost the entire way out until that very last second, big twist over. Okay, so when we look to throw our punch, I'm going to think about having that arm go all the way out and have my good rotation. Okay? When we look to throw one punch right after another, my backhand is going to look to come and switch. They switch. Okay? Both of my arms are going to look to twist and rotate at that very last second. So it's going to look like this. If my punch is out, I'm going to think about bringing my fist out. Other one comes back. Last second switch. Okay, if we do it again, goes out, last second switch. Making sure that I really think about pulling my hand, pushing my hand, okay? So that's going to be our basic punch. Okay, we can look to practice that from our nice standing position. For our next thing, we're going to look to cover one of our blocks. We're going to look to do our sweeping block to start off. Left hand in front. If you've seen some of the other videos, we did talk about our sweeping block, but we're going to do a super quick review again. Okay, so we're going to take one arm and we're going to put it right in front of our face. If you're looking straight ahead, make sure that you can be able to see just over your knuckles. That's where you're going to want to look to put your fist. Okay, so if I'm looking that way, I want to be able to have my fist be just high enough that I can see over it. For our sweeping block, we're going to look to take my arm off to the side, having this good, nice 90 degrees, taking my hand, big switch. Okay, just like our punch, we're going to look to bring it back all the way to our side. Okay, so if I look to throw my sweeping block, and I'm going to look to switch every single time, my arm's going to look to come way up, switch across, way up, switch across, way up, switch across. Okay, that's how we're going to look to practice our sweeping block. For our next technique, we can look to practice our scooping block. Okay, so our hand is going to look to start in that same position, hand setting behind us. From this position, instead of going way outside, we're going to look to take this hand, come underneath, and they're going to switch. So this supporting hand, this bottom hand, is going to look to come in front, big scoop right in front of my face so I can just see over, okay? Underneath, big scoop. Underneath, big scoop. Underneath, big scoop. Making sure we keep nice tight fists the whole time. Okay, for our one last technique, basic hand technique that we can look to practice at white belt is our low block. If one hand's out, it's going to be out almost like a punch, but instead of it being towards the middle of my body, it's out down low. Okay, so if we're going to look to throw our low block, I need to bring my hand that's setting on my side way up by my head. My hand's going to look to travel down along my arm. As it gets all the way to the last, almost completely straight, hands are going to switch. Comes up, rides it down, fast switch. Up, rides it down, fast switch. Okay, those are our 4 hand techniques for white belts. Okay, so we have our good punch, we have our good sweeping block, have our good scoop, have our good low block. Now that we've covered our 4 hand technique, we're going to look to cover our 2 leg technique. okay? When we look to start, we're gonna cover our knee first. If I'm here in my stance with my good natural stance, I'm gonna look to take 1 foot forward into my sparring stance. Off of my back leg. Every time we're gonna look to do a kick, it's gonna be off our back leg. So if we're gonna look to do our knee, we're gonna look to bring our knee and push it forward. So bring my knee up, in front, and back down, okay? There are 2 parts to our knee. We're gonna look to have it come up, nice and high, foot nice and close to our leg, and then come right back down. Push up and back down, up and back down, okay? And we can look to do this for both sides. Leg comes up and back down, up and back down. When we look to have our sparring guard, make sure that we keep our both hands up. At no point do we want to see our hands drop below our sides. Keep your hands up that entire time. We look to start really simple with our knee. We're gonna look to cover our front snap kick now, which has 4 parts. So our 4 parts for our front snap kick are gonna look to come up, out, back, and down. Okay? 4 parts. Up, out, back, and down. Okay? One more time on the other side. Leg comes up, out, back, and down. Up, out, back, and down. Really try to focus and put the ball of your foot way out there. We don't want to have a nice flat foot. Point your foot. Point your toes at what you want to kick at.